Yes, everybody. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. It's back. It is back, my friends. Russie Rumour Roundup is back. Roll those titles. Yes, everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. The summer is almost upon us. I've got my summer shirt on, all ready for me holidays. And just want to thank you. It was in Lakeside yesterday, and a lady came up to me and said hello, but I didn't get your name. I'm really, really sorry. So she said, she's a channel and she's a wrong church. So thank you. Didn't get your name. Put it in the comments. Say hello who you are. So I know who you are. Anyway, for anyone new to the channel, we've had new subscribers since the last transfer window. Every couple of times a week, we do the Russie Rumour Roundup, the original Rumour rating. Don't you forget it. And I'm not saying we're signing all these players at all. In fact, usually, I mean, I could show you the list now, but it is literally it's quite big already, the list, and we haven't even officially opened the transfer window. Well, the first one obviously opens on the 1st of June. But we have got a shed load of players who've been linked with. Anton spoke this morning about 𝙍𝙐𝙎𝙎𝙔 and Jonathan David. Those names are still milling over. But we've probably got 6 or 7 players we're going to talk about today. And then what we do is a couple of, usually like a Monday and a Thursday, usually, during the sort of the window, so to speak. We give you sort of the latest rumours, but what we try and do is give our spin. So what's the rumour, and then we give you the Russie Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, what I think is going to happen with that particular player. And Hammer's headlines, we're going to talk about a bit more about Potter and the money available, and crunching a few of the numbers in terms of the players who are going to be leaving, and talk about the US investors as well, potentially, and one player who is coming back off loan. And now, forget it isn't, but one is. So let's crack on like Donkey Kong. Also, don't forget to check out the channel partners, Match Bingo. Get your dobbers and dabbers for the Forest game. And also, you got your Jared Bowen signed shirt, signed by the man himself, inscribed Bowen's on fire. Few days to win that as well. £5 entry with a donation going to the 𝙍𝙐𝙎𝙎 Cancer Support Trust. The trust that Big Jim's under, Anton's dad. So let's crack on like Donkey Kong and talk about some players. So what we do is we give you an idea. Actually, we're going to take that banner off. That's Jamie's put his own banner on. We're going to take off time. What we're going to do is show some of the players, give you our thoughts, what's been used, the news, some of the stats about them, and obviously then give you the rumour rating. That's the basic format for how we do our transfer rumours. So let's start with this gentleman. Now, according to ex-WH employee, West Ham are in talks with the agents of 𝙍𝙐𝙎𝙎 𝙍𝙐𝙎. As reported many weeks ago, West Ham are set to obviously have a significant squad overhaul, as we well know. We're going to talk about that later on. Ardon, we've got a hard on for Ardon, who's a 20-year-old Swiss international at Club Brugge. That name and that's club's going to come up quite often today. He's a midfielder. He's been identified as a possible transfer target this summer. Talks apparently already in place with the agents. X went on to further say we also hold an interest in his teammate Joel Ordonez. And face fierce competition should we decide to make a move for him, who's a 21-year-old Ecuadorian international, although the clubs are after being called Arsenal and Chelsea. In terms of Ardon, he's 22, 150 appearances, career appearances, and a sort of box, you're out of the box midfielder, to be honest. I mean, the Russie Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives him a 60% chance. It's clear we are fishing in certain waters, and the Pro League does seem to be one. And we've spoken here, we mentioned about Joel. Another player we've been mentioned being linked with another midfielder is the Nigerian midfielder, Raphael Onyedika. That's probably how you pronounce it, actually. Onyedika, the 24-year-old defensive midfielder, is also understood to be interested, have interest from West Ham and a host of other clubs across Europe. Early days so far, but the club are currently in the process of getting key targets identified ahead of what we know is going to be a very busy summer. X also named Jots Mario Stoyekens from Anderlecht, again another Belgium side, as another Potter a player of interest to him and Carl McCauley, and has been on the club's radar for some time. Indeed, we've spoken about Mario before, but Raphael, I think is he's got over 200 appearances under his belt. Um, big strapping lad. Slight question mark in terms of the AFCONs as well. He'd be, Nigeria. I don't know if they've qualified for the AFCONs next year. Obviously, famously, Kudus hasn't qualified. His team haven't qualified. So I give him a slightly better chance. I think there's less interest in him as such. We know that defensive midfield is definitely an area we're going to be looking at. No shit, Sherlock. We do welcome back Freddie Potts, as we said, and how he'll be integrated, I think, is based on the players we bring in. And I think Raphael's probably more likely than Ardon for Ardon. I do like that as a thumbnail title already. Maybe we get all the Ninja Turtles. Start with Raphael first. There's a reference for some people. Let's move on. Where should we go to next? Let's go to Copenhagen. We've gone from Belgium. Now we're going up to Denmark for us looking at a right back. 5'8" right back, 21-year-old Mexican international, Rodrigo 𝙍𝙐𝙎𝙎𝙎. Now, we are set, apparently, to face competition with several clubs across Europe, including Marseille and Borussia Dortmund, for the 21-year-old right back. He can play sort of CDM. I think he can actually play centre half. Well, he's played centre half as well. So there's plenty of areas he can play. He's someone who West Ham have been watching closely as we obviously consider our options for the right hand side, and mainly the ability to buy players. I think then you could easily put Wan-Bissaka onto the left hand side if need be, and then put him on the right hand or a right hand side player on as well. There's lots of options there. But according to the German daily newspaper Blind, West Ham are facing competition, as I said, from the likes of Marseille and Borussia Dortmund. He's featured 33 times for Copenhagen this season. There's been a regular during their Europa Conference League campaign. He signed a deal with Copenhagen until the summer of 2029. So obviously it will take some Bunsen burner to get him out of that contract. And we'll see whether West Ham will try and steal a march on the likes of Dortmund and Marseille in the chase for him by acting obviously quicker than others. He joined Copenhagen from Mexican club CD Cruz Azul last summer, and he's been highly rated in his native land. Obviously, we do currently have the Mexican international, Edson Alvarez, and so but we might not have him by the time he turns up if a club come in for him. The Russian rating, the original Rumour rating, less likely, I think, 40%. Just got, a lot of it's hunch and just putting two and two together. For me, that sort of the right hand side isn't an area we need to look at the moment. The left hand side we do, I think, with Emerson replaced. I mean, Rodrigo has played left back before in the same way that someone like Wan-Bissaka's played left back as well. So, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're an out and out left back. So, if I'm spending money, it's going to cost a little bit of money to get out of his contract. I would probably be more likely to go for someone who's a natural left-sided player. Just me. And of course, we still have Ollie Scars as well. And we do currently obviously still have Emerson as well. Let's stick with fullbacks, actually. Another name that's been linked is the Napoli fullback, Napoli left-back, Matthias Olivier. And according to AS, the on Wednesday's newspaper publication, West Ham, Spurs and Brighton all in the picture to sign the Napoli left back this summer, and also Atletico Madrid are also interested in him. He is 27, so he's probably on the probably less likely to happen. He's played 31 games this season and has, according to the report in AS, exploded into stardom, whatever that means. His preferred position is left side of the defence, but can also operate as a centre-back. And indeed, if we're playing a back three, particularly with 𝙍𝙐𝙎𝙎𝙎, who's looking to be moved on, and Aaron Cresswell not having his contract renewed, we are slightly short, I think, on that left-hand side, particularly on a sort of centre-back position. And maybe Matthias could be it. 27, so, playing a centre-half, you've probably got a few more years than playing a fullback at 27. 2 months ago, they rewarded him with a new contract until the summer of 2030. But despite this, the report states that the Napoli chairman, Aurelio De Laurentiis, is willing to listen to offers and is looking around 30 million euros, so around 25, 26 million quid. That value could price Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid out. But there are cheaper options for him to look elsewhere. I mean, there's Álvaro from Benfica. There's Miguel Gutierrez from Genoa. So they might choose to do that instead. But as I said, we'll be interesting to see if we push ahead with him. I'm actually thinking more. I think that left hand side. He's more likely for me. He's far more likely for me than probably Rodrigo. So I'm going to give it a Russell rating of 50%, 50-50. A Lamar, as we call it in the trade. What about now? I'm 50-50. Let's stick him with Serie A. And let's talk about another fullback. And actually, he's a 6'4" fullback. He's a fucking monster of a man. Nicola Savona. We, as well as Liverpool and Man City, are all in the hunt, and I said hunt, for the Juventus youngster. According to reports in the Italian news outlet Tutto Juve, Savona is a subject of interest from several clubs in the Premier League, and it name-checked West Ham, Man City, and Liverpool, all interested in the 22-year-old Juventus fullback. He's established himself as one of the best young prospects in Serie A since breaking into the first team squad. He's a young right back and spent his formative years. He started his career at Agreville. Before his formative years, Juventus, having joined the youth ranks in 2011. This year was a breakthrough year for him into the first team squad. Despite being a late bloomer, he made his mark this season, amassing 36 appearances in all competitions for Juve. And those appearances haven't gone unnoticed. And several high-profile clubs, and West Ham, not including West Ham, and West Ham, are interested in vying for his signature. Given the fact that the likes of Man City and Liverpool, I think Man City definitely are looking at increasingly improving their fullbacks this summer. I think this is very unlikely, and so I'm going to give it just a 20% chance. Let's talk strikers. Clear area we're interested in. Anton spoke about Jonathan David this morning, but there are several other names we've been linked to, and we'll talk about two of them now. First one is a name we've mentioned before in previous transfer windows, Jonathan Burkhardt, 24-year-old German international. According to Sport Blim, West Ham are well in the picture to sign the prolific Mon striker in the upcoming transfer window. He's expected to have plenty of suitors this summer, not only because he scored 18 goals and 3 assists in 29 appearances this season, 4 mans, but he only has a 20 million euro release clause. So not only is he on fire, but he's cheap, like the budgie. He's been capped 3 times for the full German international side. Has been with has been in the mains system since joining the youth team set up in 2014. As I said, decent age, 24. More of where someone like Nicholas Füllkrug is more of a target man. He's more of your proverbial fox in a box, and a very different type of player than you would expect. Compared to Nicholas Füllkrug, for example. But had a standout year this season in Bundesliga. Russie B, give it 60%. I think the price is right. And if we're interested in January, I think it would be good. Another name we've been linked to, and a name we were linked with before, a couple of times actually. Is the he's now plays for Lazio, but he did play for New York City, I think it was, in the MLS. Valentine Castellanos, or as he likes to be called, Tati. Now he's called Tati, which is quite funny, I thought, particularly potato salad, tatties, that type of thing. But anyway, according to sources, he has reportedly attracted interest from a host of suitors across the Premier League and La Liga, with West Ham being name-checked as one of those sides. 26-year-old joined Lazio in the summer 2023, initially as an understudy for Immobile before becoming the club's first choice centre-forward when Igor Tudor replaced Maurizio Sarri in March last year. This season, he's consolidated his status as a key player for Lazio and has scored 14 goals and 8 assists in all competitions this season. According to La Lazio Simale Noi, Castellanos' impressive displays have earned him several suitors across Europe, including West Ham. Also, Real Betis and Villarreal are keen admirers. The two Spanish clubs are obviously currently vying for a top spot in the Champions League. But us, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves are all interested in, particularly Wolves as well. The likelihood is they will send in Cunha in the summer, be looking for a replacement. And same to us with a question mark over Nicholas Füllkrug, obviously sending back Evan Ferguson, and then Forest just want to buy players anyway. Lazio haven't placed Tati on the transfer market like any other place, not considered unsellable either. So they'd be willing to consider offers of apparently around 30 to 35 million pounds. And again, someone who we've been looking at under previous regimes. Based on that, Russie B's giving it a Lamar, a 50-50. Yeah, and that's just the start. As I said, we've got a hell of a lot of transfers going to be coming up. Rumours, news, ITKs. We're going to bring it all to you so you don't have to trawl through the internet. We do it for you. And we give you our thoughts, and you can comment them below, which one of those excite you. The thing that excites me, and it won't excite other people, is the fact is I don't know a lot of these players. And that excites me. It excites me because if I don't know them, then it's... Oh, sorry, take Jonathan Burkhardt. Then, to me, there's some thought gone into it, some analysis gone into it. We're looking outside. I know we've been into a lot of Italian defenders in this episode, but we're looking outside. We're looking at various places. The Pro League is an area we're looking at a lot. The Championship is an area we're going to be looking at. As Anton spoke about CJ, not just CJ, a whole bunch of the Sunderland players is all we're interested in. But there's going to be a lot of names. There'll be a lot of names you haven't heard of. And that's what's great about what we can do. We can give you our thoughts, give you a bit of information about them, and you can make your mind up, innit? We're all clever people. We've all got brains and whatnot. We know we're not going to sign all these players. We know a lot of it is agent talk. We know a lot of it is ITK talk. And again, what I always sort of assume with that type of stuff is ITKs get information that they want, that the clubs or the person leaking the information is happy to leak the information to, if that makes sense. There's a lot going on in the background. There's a lot of conflicting stories. We're going to talk about one of them at Hammer's Headlines, actually. In that people, there was we're skinned, but there's a report from talking about how Potter has been promised some significant funds for this rebuild. And we go in to look at the crunch the numbers a bit in terms of some of the players who are going to be leaving already and how much that could save us, particularly when you look at things like PSR and FFP. It puts us in a decent light, I think, in all honesty. But anyway, we'll talk about that later on. My friends. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely rest of your Thursday. I'll be back a bit later on. Ta-ta-ta. Go back if you didn't see the shows yesterday. We had Jamie Talks on. And we had the old Squammers with Kieran and Budgie on as well. So go and check out that. Great chats as always then, guys. Anyway, I'll see you soon, motherfuckers.